I built a website and got my first paying user within 30 days of building it. And in this video, I will share out the entire process how I got there. But wait, here's the most interesting twist. I have not written a single line of code in this project and still managed to get a user pulling out his credit card and paying for my product. This one is called ExamClutch and I built this for myself to solve my own frustration. And when I looked online, I found out that people in different parts of the country are facing similar problems on different learning platforms. So I thought that yes, this is a problem worth solving. I wanted to make something that feels real before I spend weeks building it. Then comes the boring part, which is connecting the database. I use Supabase for this, and here in Supabase I get added Google sign-in, which is the standard login with Google button, because nobody wants to create one more password. I used Claude code to design and build the entire logic of the extension. I never wrote a single line for this extension. All I did was just talking to my computer and pressing the enter button. I just described whatever changes I wanted. Claude code wrote the entire structure. I just review it once and then allow it to make the changes in the code. And honestly, it is game changer. It just works perfectly, and most of the time it does your tasks to the point, especially in writing the logic and the backend system. So now that got me a working product, but a working product means nothing until you actually ship it, which brings me to the next part. Once the Chrome extension was working, I uploaded it on Chrome Web Store and it got rejected twice. But the rejection doesn't mean that I have to stop there. It just meant that I need to make some specific changes that Google wanted, and it was mostly around the permissions that the extension uses. So I just copied the mail that they sent me, pasted it in the Claude, and Claude made all the changes within few minutes. Next comes the payment, which turns your free toy to an actual business. I used a payment provider called as Dodo Payments. I already had an account on those, so I just took out the API keys, gave it to Claude, and also copied the documentation, gave it to Claude, and it did everything. The entire website was built in Next.js. I just had to push it on GitHub, connect my Vercel account, and it was deployed on Vercel. The last part was the integration, so the front end and the back end can communicate to each other. Just give a few commands to Claude and it did everything. By around May 10th, it was almost done, and this is the part most of the people skip. I tested the entire flow myself by making the payment and actually getting the product, because nothing is worse than somebody paying you and getting no value out of it. So now I had a real product you can purchase by pulling out your credit card. The building was the very easy part because Claude had your back. But now the real game starts, and this is what nobody tells. Building a product is always easier. Getting the human to actually use it and pay for it is way more harder than building. So to target tier 1 countries, I made a TikTok account on my phone and connected it through free VPN and started posting videos about how the extension actually worked. None of the videos went viral, not a single one. But all of the videos reached intended users, and I got some of the traffic on my website. And finally, after spending around 2 weeks of marketing, I got my first sale, which was of $5. I know that sounds small, but it was a proof that a complete stranger somewhere in the world saw something that I built and decided that it was worth paying for. That's a totally different feeling. It told me that the entire loop actually works. Idea to product to a stranger's wallet. And once you have closed that loop even once, you get the confidence that yes, I can do it again and much more bigger. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this: do not wait until the product is perfect to try and sell it. Ship the roughest version you can, put it in front of real people, and let your first ugly little sale teach you more than a month of building ever can. I am sharing the entire process of whatever I am building on my X account. There's the link in my description, you can connect with me there. And this $5 was just the start. I have received many more payments from this project, which we'll cover in the next video. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.